welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead and welcome to part 5 of how to make rhubarb wine. Now I had grand plans of bottling this wine today and showing you that process, but we have run into a snag and this is an excellent opportunity to show you some wine making troubleshooting. When I pulled this out of its spot where it's been clearing, right, because it's already gone through the fermentation, the first one, the second one, and now it's in the clearing stage. We've also back sweetened this. So if you've been watching my rhubarb wine series, you'll know that back in June, we back sweetened it. You know, we did all of the things. We added all the components to make sure that it wouldn't start fermenting again, but I pulled this out and I noticed there are active bubbles coming up to the top here. Now, it's not blooping a lot here in the top, but it does every once in a while. So it's not just because I moved the carboy, because I did this yesterday in preparation to bottle. So it's not just, you know, extra little CO2, I don't think. But what we have to do is find out why are there bubbles coming up here, because you should not see active bubbles coming up in your finished product of wine. There are 3 major reasons why you may see bubbles in your wine that it has finished fermenting and is clearing. Number 1, it has spoiled. So we're going to smell this wine and see if it has a rancid off smell. We're also going to taste it just to make double sure. The second reason why you might see bubbles is it actually did start to ferment again. That it doesn't happen very often, especially since we're using all of the proper chemicals, but we did back sweeten it. There's always a slight possibility that when you back sweeten your wine, there is still some active yeast and the Campden tabs didn't do their job or whatever. It is a possibility. So we're gonna find out today by taking a gravity reading with this hydrometer. We're gonna find out if this has actually started to ferment again. If it's not spoiled, and if it's not, you know, back into fermentation, then the only other option is that this is all just trapped CO2. And if that's the case, there's an easy fix. I've got a sanitized bucket over here, and we'll just need to transfer it into there and stir it for a good long time to get those CO2 bubbles released. Most likely, if that's the case, I will probably transfer it into a carboy just for a few more days, just to kind of keep an eye on it, but we could bottle it tonight too. So if you have to degas your wine, which is what it's called, if after you've done everything and you still see bubbles, you need to degas your wine. And that can be done, you need to do it in a bucket, but you don't want big splashes, right? If you get big splashes, a lot of air exposure to the wine, it's going to oxidize and it's going to probably spoil or take on some nasty flavors. So those are our 3 main issues. Did it spoil? Has it started to ferment again? And does it have trapped gas in it? The only fix for spoilage is to get rid of it. So if we smell and taste this and it's nasty, then this is the last video for the rhubarb wine and it's gonna be tossed. If it has started to ferment again, we will know for sure, because we know in June when we did the last reading that it was a 0.998. That means it was done fermenting, right? But also we back sweetened it. In order to fix that problem, if we find out that it's fermenting again, I'm gonna leave it here. So we're gonna check it in, we're not gonna transfer it yet. We're gonna check the gravity reading while it's in here. If we find that it's still fermenting because, you know, the level is no longer at, you know, below 1.000, then I'm just gonna put this back and we're just gonna let it do its thing and keep, you know, make sure that the airlock remains full so that there's no oxidation happening in the wine, and just leave it alone. That's perfectly okay. If the gravity reading is below the last reading we did in June, For those of you watching this, we are in October right now, so typically this would be bottling stage. And it's beautifully clear. You can see right through this bottle. It's beautiful. If we find out that the gravity reading is below 0.998, our last reading back in June, then we know that, and it doesn't smell bad, right? Then we know it's the trapped CO2. Then what we will do to fix that is put it into a bucket and stir for a good long time. There are paddles and different attachments and fun things you can do, but a big long spoon and about 10 minutes will do the trick. What you want to do though is, if you're degassing your wine, stir it slow. So put on your favorite podcast and your good music or whatever it is you want, and just stir it nice and slow for about 10 minutes. Get all those bubbles out. So while I'm disappointed that I don't get to show you the bottling process today, I am excited that I get to do a little bit of troubleshooting with you today. So I think what I'm going to do first is get you up close. I don't know if the camera will pick up the bubbles, but I'm going to give it a good try so that you can see how gentle the bubbles are. As you know, if you've been watching this series, this has been clearing since June, and there's barely any sediment on the bottom. And it's a beautiful clear wine, but there's still just very regular bubbles coming up. So I'm a little suspicious, and I'm looking forward to finding out what's wrong, and I really hope that it's not spoiled. But if it is, well, you know what? That is part of the winemaking process. It does happen every once in a while. Okay, let me see if I can get you up close, and we'll start our troubleshooting process, and then we'll go from there. All right, I've got you up close, and I did try to get some of the dust off. And I'm just wondering if the camera will pick up these little tiny air bubbles. I can see it in my screen, but I won't know until later if you can see them. All right, so hopefully you can see what I see. We've got some rapid bubbles coming up. They're not accumulating any foam at the top. So now it's time to smell the wine, taste the wine, and check the gravity to see what might be going on here. Now for the fun stuff. I have a little bowl here to put my airlock in, just so that it doesn't get contaminated. And I think what we're gonna do is we'll do the gravity, well, we're gonna smell it first. Let's just do that, because I guess we don't need to go any further if it smells nasty. I'm gonna just set this aside. So pretty much no matter what kind of wine you make at this stage, right in the clearing stage, it should have a fruity or floral scent. It should not smell like rotten eggs or dead things. And this wine actually smells beautiful. So I'm really hoping it is not spoiled. So this is a good sign so far. I have my wine thief here. All of this has been sanitized. You guys know the drill. I'm going to take some wine out with the wine thief, and I'm gonna do a gravity reading. I'm gonna be real careful since it's so full. I don't want to spill anything. So I'll get a good amount of wine in there. I am gonna taste this as well, but I'm just gonna do the gravity reading first. So you'll take your hydrometer and just kind of give it a good spin. And we'll, oh, okay. Well, that's what happened, you guys. It has started to ferment again. I don't know why. I thought I did everything right, but the fermentation started back up again, and you know, that does happen, and that's fine. So I'm actually pretty excited. But we are now at a 1 point, oh gosh, I would say a 1.120. Like, it really has started back up again, you guys. Like, that's a serious fermentation. It's still going. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the wine in here because I would like to taste it. And then I'm gonna put the rest right back into this carboy because we do want it to be all the way up here in the neck. It's definitely important that, you know, your wine during the clearing phase, even if the fermentation does start up, that it's all the way up here so it doesn't oxidize. So while I am sniffing and tasting, I'm just going to put this airlock back on. It's October, we've got fruit flies, I've got other wines going, as you know. So let's just taste this and see, just make double sure, but I think we have solved the issue here. This is a really beautiful wine. Probably one of the favorites that I've ever made, so I'm so happy, you guys. I can't tell you how happy I am that it is not spoiled. It tastes beautiful. It's sweet, but not too sweet. And we just discovered that it is still fermenting. So what I'm gonna do now is just go put it back where I found it and let it just keep doing its thing. It will continue to clear. There can't possibly be much yeast in here. Again, you go back to part 4, you'll see what I did. I did everything I could to stop the fermentation in order to prepare for the bottling phase, but this does happen sometimes. It's not on a ton of lees, so I'm not worried about it getting gross flavors from whatever tiny bit of dead yeast is still going on here. And I don't really want to force it. You can force your wine to stop doing what it wants to do, but you know me, I like to experiment, so I think I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm going to set it aside for, well, until these bubbles stop. I don't know how long that's going to be, but could be a couple months before you see me again on the rhubarb wine. But if you're into my wine videos, make sure you stay tuned, because in a couple days, outside of the view of the camera here, I have my Himrod grape wine. So we're going to be on part 3. That's just going to be in a couple of days. It looks way prettier than it did. So if you're following the wine series, you know what I'm talking about, but it looked like split pea soup the last time. Now it's starting to look real pretty. And we're going to have to do some special things with the Himrod grape wine because of the way that the mess that I made. We're going to have to like strain it and do a couple different steps. So it's worth watching. And yeah. So we will do rhubarb wine part 6 soon, I guess. As soon as this is done bubbling, we'll come back, we'll check the gravity again, and then we will also, hopefully at that point, bottle. I don't think I'm going to bring you back until it's done, because you don't need to see this whole thing again. But when it's done, we'll do another gravity reading, and then we'll bottle it together, and then we will complete the series for the rhubarb wine. Thank you so much for watching and checking in. I appreciate all of you guys, and to my members, I love you. Thank you for the support, and I will be seeing you in a couple days. Bye!